just to circle back to how you began your conversation about you will be a feminist when you are a humanist.
Mhm.
And I'm I don't know that I have a question here. I have a comment from which I hope you will riff. But I've been concerned for years and years and years and years, decades probably now, about the loss of meaning in society.
Mhm.
The people are unanchored from so many customs, habits, institutions that provided meaning. And just before we got on, I was listening to a podcast. There's a new book called Goodbye Religion,
Hmm.
and it's a academic study of the growth of the nuns,
Hmm.
NONES, no religious affiliation. And they made the point that it's interesting now, just in the last year or two, you're beginning to see this data that men are more interested in organized religion than women. This is like totally counter to centuries of trends. And the authors ascribe this to, as it said, this is like an indicator of this crisis of meaning
Mhm.
among young men that's for some reason does not exist in the same way among women. I'm reminded probably the first time I had this thought was when I saw the film The Full Monty. Do you remember The Full Monty?
Yes.
About a town in northern
Yeah.
England, the
Mhm.
collapse of whatever industry that had been,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
all the men were just unemployed and listless, and each one of their female partners had just gotten on with it,
Mhm.
figured out a job, keeping the family together. But the men were still nostalgic about a previous society where roles were better defined, and their slot was like, easy to find.
Right.
And I do believe this is a severe issue for American society and many other societies, not just American. And so, I applaud and am myself part of many efforts to open up the horizons for women. But I recognize that these are having an unintended consequence.
Mhm. It's sort of interesting to talk about that. And so I won't necessarily address the religion piece of it, but um, one of the things that I have really noticed, so we've been working on this for 8 years now, is that one of the biggest reasons, not the biggest, but there are several big reasons, but this is one of them that our program has been supported is fathers. I
Mm.
had one young man who had his first daughter, and his comment was, I support this because I want to make sure my daughter has a place at the table. So it's interesting to me that we have big support from men. It's not like I go out and it's just the women there that are supporting it, it's the men too. The other thing, sort of tangentially, I said that word wrong and that makes me angry.
I love that it makes you
Tangentially.
angry, but also that you admit it.
Well, I just got back from a tour in Egypt where our tour guide kept talking about things evoluting. And that is now my favorite word, evoluting. I love it.